Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. I have no idea. September 12th. Happy September 12th. If that's a holiday, I don't know. Day after September 11th celebration, I suppose. It's the Joe Mobley Show. I am still Joe Mobley, the original uncloseted conservative. Guys, we've got an awesome show for you today. We are talking about the fact that it is suicide awareness month, and there's a suicide prevention week in suicide awareness month. So if this is something that you deal with, suicidal ideation, thoughts, tendencies, that type of thing, then call or text 988. That's it. That's the whole number. It's here. I think I have it up here somewhere. But you can get connected to the National Institute of Mental Health's suicide prevention hotline, which is actually a pretty useful service. Back in my days on the Human Trafficking Task Force, we called the hotlines for different types of training events. So we called the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline 988. They take calls, they take text, which is an awesome feature. The text thing did not come around until maybe 2018, 2019. If that's something that you deal with, no shame, no nothing, just get the help that you need. Actually, funnily enough, the locals tonight, the locals only show, which is immediately after this live stream, you can go to my locals. The link is below. I'm going to be talking about my story with suicidal ideations as a younger man. Which isn't like a matter of secret. I spoke about it on one of my friend's podcasts, Another You, where he listens to your stories. This guy's an author, so he rewrites endings and then he narrates it to you. It was a wild experience for me to listen to. But anyway, we're going to be talking about that on the locals. Don't feel bad if you don't want to come and hang out and listen to that story. I wouldn't blame you at all. We're also going to be talking about the Trump-Harris debate. Because it's an election year, and apparently that's what we're supposed to do. We're also talking about how dystopian things are. It's almost like a double think Olympics in my mind, looking at some of those things, and hopefully in an attempt to keep things a little bit lighter and funny, Samantha and I are going to be doing a live react to some videos. Now, I've seen one of the videos, but I've not seen the other one. And with that said, Outspoken Samantha, how are you?
Good. I was just sitting here playing a little game on my phone until you said my name, and then I was like, "Oh, hi."
Perfect. Yeah, I skipped all my shameless plugs because I don't know, just because I felt like it. So, yeah, if you want to buy crap, then you know where to get it. It's in the links below. How are you? How have you been?
I am good. I have to tell everyone, I have decided to vote for Kamala Harris.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're having technical difficulties.
It was Taylor Swift's endorsement that really did it for me. Yeah. I know that she is changing the hearts and minds of women everywhere, specifically based on these crucial issues. So without that endorsement, I was going to go for a good economy, and I was going to go for, secure borders and all these things. But I know that Taylor has done her research, and she is well aware of all of the issues that matter to me. So if she says that I should vote for Kamala Harris, that must be who I need to put my money behind and cast my ballot for. Wait, I don't have any money, but anyway, so that was a fun little development.
Well, thank you for that. The chat's going crazy already. We'll say, what the heck? She's a Swiftie. Samantha is not a Swiftie. Let's make those comments bigger. There we go.
No.
Imperious, that's a bad word. I'm not going to put that on the screen. But congratulations on being first. You see that?
What?
Yeah. You see his... Anyway, congratulations. Congratulations to you for seeing the light. You know, I like to look to professional athletes and not to religious scholars or to theologians and faith leaders. I like to just throw all of my important decision making on the backs of athletes and singers and dancers. I mean, I'm really considering who that little bunny hop breakdance girl, Ray Guns. I'm really considering reaching out to her to see who I should vote for, even though she's not an American, but she's so talented and so influential. And yeah, so if there's a white person out there that can help this black guy figure out what a computer is and how to use the internet, then I can make that happen.
Yep, absolutely. Because I'm so confused now. I need somebody. I need somebody who is black, who is a lesbian, who is missing at least one limb, and has all of these experiences that can tell me, because all of those things would make them qualified. I don't need them to do any research. I just need to know, who I need to vote for. So
yeah, where are my black lesbians at? So
I know, right?
Yeah, let's get it going. So as much as I don't want to talk about it, I guess the first topic is the debate. I will tell you guys right off the top. I watched the whole debate. I watched a lot of commentary about it. I get nothing from Samantha but time and energy, and time that she puts into this video that she put out, this Unwired, this Outspoken Samantha Unwired. I think it's like a little over an hour, is the best. It's the best take. The take on the debate's not even the whole video. It's the best take on the debate. And I've watched lots of the videos. I'm over the debate. I'm over the election at this point. I'm going to go vote. Not convinced that means anything. But what? Did you watch this live when you did this, or did you queue up notes? I think this is top 3 pieces of content that you've ever made.
Oh, well, thank you. No, I mean, I was kind of making notes as I was going through the debate. I was also tweeting a lot. So it was funny when I was putting my notes together for the live stream the next day. I just looked back through my tweets and I remembered exactly what I was thinking at the time that I made that tweet and what they were talking about. So it really helped me put it together. But there were just so many things that needed to be pulled apart. And a lot of times especially with Democrats, it's not what they're saying, it's what they're not saying, or it is very specifically the words that they're using in a very intentional way to make it sound like they're saying one thing, but they're really saying something else. So I just had so many thoughts on it, and it just kind of blew my mind. I mean, I thank you so much for the compliment, because I kind of felt like I was a little bit scattered when I was in it, and I kept saying final thoughts, and then I'd go for another 5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, final thoughts, and then I'd go on.
Final thoughts about this topic.
Yeah, about this topic, exactly. So I appreciate that, but I don't know. I think what I find comforting is I don't think that it made one speck of difference for either side. I think if anybody watched it, it was mainly for entertainment value. But I think overall, my analysis of it is that I think we can all agree that Trump did not have a great night. I think we were expecting far more from him. Yeah. Kamala Harris played the emotion part very well. She did, I will admit, she did far better than I thought she was going to do, which the bar wasn't set very high. But she hit the emotional part with no substance, which is entirely what the Democrat Party and what their voting base is based on right now. So that is why they are like, she did an amazing job. She did wonderful. She won. She nailed it. She mopped the floor with him, because she played exactly the part that the Democrats have come to expect from their candidates, which is all emotion and no substance. I think we were disappointed because we've come to accept substance. We've come to expect that we're going to get answers. We're going to get clarity. We're going to get an action plan. We're going to get acknowledgement of the things that we're suffering with right now, and a plan, at least, some kind of answer as to how it's going to be solved. And we didn't get the substance that we were looking to get. So it was disappointing in that way, but like I said, I don't think any minds were changed. And I don't think that anybody really, I mean, there were audience, focus groups afterwards, but I think for the most part, people really did go into it with the expectation that they were going to have their mind changed either way. So that was me.
Yeah, I just thought it was a really good take. You used the same tweet. I think we bookmarked the same stuff. I think we follow the same people, and that's how I surprise. That's how I make content. I just bookmark things on Twitter, bookmark things on TikTok and Instagram, and then make my little bullet points. But yeah, we can kind of go through these 5 lies that ABC News. This is Colin Rugg at Colin Rugg on X. 5 lies that ABC News moderators refuse to fact check or falsely fact check during the debate, that's kind of a salient comment because they were doing live fact checks against Donald Trump's information. Oh, he said dog, he meant cat, whatever. They're probably eating dogs too. But whenever Kamala Harris would say something that was just totally false, they were like, thank you, Madam Vice President. Now back to how evil Trump was. So the first one is the mandatory firearm buyback. So I'm not going to queue up all of the videos. If you want to watch a ridiculous montage of Kamala Harris flip-flopping on this, then go check out Outspoken Samantha's video, Kamala versus Trump. It's an unwired. It's like probably like 20 something hours old. I think it was from yesterday. I mean, honestly, there's that one. That one is just kind of like the cheap seats of policy lies, because just like Pete Buttigieg, she wants to take your weapons, and it starts with assault weapons, but it goes to, these people think that essentially anything that's semi-automatic, that one trigger pull is 1 round fired, ought to be banned.
Yep.
I don't know what else to say about that. Very few things surprised me about the debate. The biggest surprise for me was that he stole her line, her "I'm speaking" line. I laughed out loud when that happened. She laughed out loud when that happened. I agree with you. He did not perform as well as he should have. But I was titillated with that. I was genuinely surprised that she busted out the fine people hoax. There were very fine people on both sides. I don't know what we can tell people who still believe this. It's been debunked by like everyone.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and it just goes to show how, Kamala Harris, the Democrats, they have got to literally think that their voters are the dumbest people on planet Earth to be able to say that with a straight face and still put that out there, because it is so easy to find like how debunked that has become. So to say that at this point is just to say that I think you're an idiot. And I also think that you are so immoral that you don't care that I'm lying.
The one that pissed me off the most is the post-birth abortion thing. This is the reason that I left Maryland. This is the reason that I spent many, many hours for days, weeks, and months trying to get Glenn Youngkin elected. There are politicians out there, and there are decision makers and millions of citizens who think it's completely okay for a botched abortion in the later months, 7, 8, 9, for a botched abortion to result in the birth of a baby and to leave that baby there to die, which is correctly said by Trump. It's an execution. You're sentencing this little helpless baby to death. And the people who swore this, like, I get pissed off at at soldiers not obeying and abiding by their oath. These are people who have sworn to do no harm, delivering a baby and then sitting there and letting them die, and then probably harvesting their organs, which they say they don't do. This was the one that made me the angriest of the debate. What are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, it's the choice of words that give Democrats the out to say that no, that isn't legal, or no, we don't support that. So it's when Trump uses the word execution. I mean, clearly he is not talking about like the very criminal act of literally executing a baby, like in the way that we think of execution. But then again, when Lindsay Davis jumps in and says that there's no state that allows anybody to murder a baby, it's like, well, how many states allow abortion? I mean, that's exactly what it is. So, but when he says execution, it's not like literally executing a baby. It's allowing that baby to die and denying the medical care, which is just another way of executing a baby. But it's what's astonishing to me, and I will never understand this at all, is how all of these Democrats, they are so extreme on abortion. It has gone from safe, legal, and rare to any time, any stage, any reason. And as long as the word abortion is applied to that procedure, even if it is an infant born alive from a failed abortion, because it's a part of an abortion procedure, they still defend it with this argument of a woman's right to choose. And
they saying it's healthcare.
Or saying it's healthcare, which it just blows my mind that people can fall for that. But they go out there and they put it out there, and they're so proud of this position, and they're so proud of like not putting restrictions on abortion and signing these things into law. But then when you put it out there and say this is what they defend, this is their law, you saw Kamala Harris go, "That's not true," and she laughed. Like they will deny it. It's like, well, which is it? Like you're either really proud of this position or you're ashamed of it. I don't understand. Like, why?
Yeah. Oh, it's just frustrating. Makes me want to. Well, I guess the wrong thing to say is it makes me want to punch babies.
Yeah.
Two more.
Want to eat a cat? Just kidding.
Yeah. I don't like cats. Not that I want to eat cats. I just don't like cats. Never mind. Moving on. Defund the police. She laughed. She had to get some, Kamala cackles in there. Kamala is on record dozens of times saying we need to defund the police. Just like she's on record saying we need to be woke, more woke, everyone, all woke all the time. Now she's trying to scale that back because funny thing, when you go to defund police, crime rises and then people are being, run down in the streets and having horrendous things happen to them. And those are voters and they don't like it. So she's changed her mind completely. And of course, the famous bloodbath hoax, which everything Donald Trump says, you can just put hoax at the end of it because the left is going to tell some lies about it.
Yep, absolutely. I feel like the whole point of the evening was to just throw every single media talking point that has been completely discredited and debunked, just throw it at Trump, overwhelm him with these things, and make him defend himself against all of these lies, which has the potential to make him sound crazy, but to fill the time with all of this crap that we've already hashed out countless times so that there's no time to actually talk about the things that people care about. How is it a legitimate debate question to say, Trump, you accused Kamala of saying that she was black. What is your, why would you say? I was like, who cares? I mean, yeah, it was a stupid thing to lie about. Like, she said it, and we all know that she's playing the race card. But when it comes to what needs to be discussed in this debate, I was like, how is that a serious question? I want to know when I can expect to afford groceries again. Like, when are the cost of things going to go down?
You know what this debate was actually like in real life? It was actually like a YouTube debate. Like me and you and Destiny and I don't know, some other like woke, ridiculous person getting on a stream and having a debate like that. That's how ridiculous it was. It wasn't a presidential debate.
Exactly. It's a YouTube debate where you can just debate and hash out ridiculous things that don't matter. And I'm like, this is a presidential debate. Why are we talking about this? It was insane.
All right. So
It
to
was
keep things in
embarrassing.
order, the thing that pissed me off the most was the abortion lies. This is a close second here. Oh, nope, that's Jim Halpert. This is a close second. The fact that, I mean, the timing with this too was just impeccable with 9/11 being yesterday. The fact that she invoked January 6th, like they always do, and Liv's a TikTok. She is all over it, but she posted this, I think, yesterday. It says, remember, yesterday Kamala said the photo on the left is a bigger attack on our democracy than the photo on the right. This is something that we need to shove in people's faces when we're having conversations with liberal psychos out here. Not even liberal psychos, when you're just having conversations with like honest liberals that you know, relatives, whatever. Talk to them about this. Save this. Go on Libs of TikTok. Take a little screenshot of this and say, just to be clear, which one of these events was more catastrophic? Now, 3,000 people died. Well, I don't want to get fact checked. I think 2,980 or 2,988 people, I think, perished in 9/11 attack. So then tens of thousands more from 9/11 born illness, the first responders. Anyway, so that little thing, or they've also said worse than Pearl Harbor. They said it's worse than anything. Or the grandmas walking around in the Capitol. They broke windows. Boo-hoo. The only person who was shot was Ashley Babbitt, who had no weapon. She wasn't doing anything from what I can see. If I shot Ashley Babbitt, if I shot someone doing what she was doing in a similar context, I'm positive I would be in prison. Positive. Mm-hmm. No clear and articulable facts about why she posed a deadly threat in that moment. And especially the one piece is, did she have the means? Did she have the means to enact permanent physical harm? No, she didn't. She was just there. Just a regular sized white woman. No.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
This made me want to punch the screen. That's why I didn't want to talk about, I feel like that again. That's why I didn't even want to talk about this stupid debate. It makes me angry.
Well, and I mean, I was angry to a point, but at the same time, like, these are just the things that we've come to expect. The thing that makes me angry is when people believe things like this. It's not, somebody can lie all they want. They can say the most insane garbage, but when they're intentionally leading other people to believe things that are so blatantly false, that have this evil agenda behind them, like for your own personal gain, to get that person to believe these things, that's what sets my hair on fire. But obviously, continuing to make this claim that the January 6th leisurely led tour through the Capitol building. I know there was chaos there, but let's be real, guys. It was under control within a couple of hours. And, to even dare to compare that to 9/11 is just unimaginable to me. It's so disrespectful. It is so incredibly vile and despicable.
Imperius has got a really good point here, because people do try and point to the property damage at the Capitol, which was, they were saying $2 billion of damage, which they heavily inflated. But the towers were worth, I don't know, they were supposedly $2 million of damage done to the Capitol. That's because they pay hundreds of dollars for hammers and things. But those towers were worth billions. That's absolutely right. And then the construction to rebuild it, and all of the offices in there, law offices, finance offices, different offices of government. Comparing the two events is retarded, okay? Yes, we still say retarded and gay in this household. I'm sorry if that offends, but they're real words with real meanings. Get over it. Ask Tim Walz for a tampon. Comparing these two things is retarded.
Yeah.
It just is.
I have no problem with that word. I'm just afraid that if I say it in my home, my kids are going to take it to school and then there's going to be a whole other issue. So I'm just not really sure I'm ready to deal with that. But I agree.
Solid point. Solid point. What about the people something lost in the amount of lives, or lost jobs? Yeah, 9/11 was cataclysmic. Also, it catapulted us into a 20 plus year war where hundreds of thousands of people pay. I think millions. I think they went into the anyway. Yeah, look up Global War on Terror casualty counter, and then you actually have to dig into the numbers. I did an episode on this maybe 14 months or so ago, and there's some obfuscation with the numbers and things like that. It's really stupid. Let's move on. Let me put this up because I saw it and it made me laugh. It made me giggle. Jim Halpert with the news. If Trump was going to do all the bad things they say he will do, he already would have, because he was the president. Ta-da! They say, oh, he's a dictator. Well, no, because he got elected, and if he was a dictator, then he'd still be in the White House. You guys remember, everyone talks about January 6th. Do you guys remember January 20th when Trump left the White House and Biden moved into the White House? And on January 21st, the news said, Trump's a dictator. And it's like, wait, what? Peaceful transfer of power. What are we talking about? If Kamala was going to do all the good things she says she will do, she would be doing them now. This is common sense brought to you by the internet.
Well, and just to because of course we see all the people that are like, well, Kamala Harris is the vice president and the vice president doesn't have that much control and that much power. Granted, I can give you that, but at the same, this isn't about specifically Kamala Harris. It's about what her administration stands for. And you know that both she and Joe had the power to do all of these things. So if these were the values that she keeps saying that she still has, if these were her values, this would have been a part of their administration combined. So I get it. She's the vice president. It's not like, Mike Pence could do all of these things when he was in office as well. I understand the point that people are making. It is about the Biden-Harris administration. She is the Harris in the Biden-Harris administration.
But Mike Pence had a president who was like cognizant of what's going on.
Yeah.
She could probably do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Or she could just tell Joe what she wanted to do and he would do it. Like, he wasn't running anything. He was the puppet. She could have pulled one of his strings and said, let's do all of these things that she claims to stand for. So I'm not saying that her being VP is an excuse. I'm just saying, like, I get the argument as much of a stretch as it is, but this is about what their values are, what they have stood for as a collective administration, and they both have the same values. So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't know. The concept of having this debate, people watching it getting mainstream media coverage, it's getting alternative and new media coverage like ours. I can't help but think of this whole situation begs the question, do debates, presidential debates, the way that they happen now, do they even matter?
I think that they are more for show than anything. I think it's giving people the idea that their candidate is willing to go out there and defend their ideas and give them the idea that they are so confident in what they plan to do for the country that they're willing to go on a stage and talk about them and lay them out there. But I think people are completely incapable of understanding when someone just says a lot of words, but there's no substance to it. And not only that actions speak louder than words. It's like when I tell people that, when we're told to go research Kamala Harris's record, it's not like you have to dig very deep. Go to the grocery store, like go to the gas pump, like just click on, a couple of videos on Twitter and you can see all of these videos posted about what is happening in Springfield, Ohio, or what is happening in our schools, or what is happening in Oakland, California, or all of these street takeovers, or all of the crime, or all of the resources that are being drained because we have thousands of millions of illegal immigrants that are here now. Like, you don't have to dig very deep. And so it blows my mind that people will just hear, listen to a debate and be like, she said a lot of words that sounded nice, so I'm sold. Instead of being able to recognize that their own quality of life has gone down significantly in the last 4 years, and that might be associated with the person that is in the White House right now.
Yeah, I'm comfortable saying I might be wrong or I was wrong. If polls are useful at all or true at all, then apparently the polls are showing that, because I said, hey, debates are useless. I think these electronic voting machine type elections are useless as well. But the polls are apparently showing of unlikely voters or undecided voters, these debates really move them. They're using them to decide. I don't know why. Like, just use reality, like you said. Who's in power now? What are they doing? Who was in power? What did they do? What did it look like under Bush? It was kind of crappy. What did it look like under Obama? Very crappy. What did it look like under Trump? Very good, surprisingly good. I reluctantly voted for him in 2016. I did not vote for him in the primary. I voted for, I am not a libertarian, but I was either voting for Gary Johnson or Ben Carson. I can't remember at the time. And doing a legal absentee ballot because I was stationed in Oklahoma, but a Virginia resident. Anyway, just look at what he did. The Abraham Accords, the energy production, American manufacturing. We had manufacturing capabilities in this country again that we hadn't had for decades. And immediately when the Democrats got back in the White House, those jobs were gone. And the manufacturing went back offshore. Mexico is building like plants like nobody's freaking businesses. My instruments are coming from Mexico. I think these monitors used to be made in China and Taiwan. They're now made in Mexico. Refrigerators and everything else. Maybe it's time to move. Maybe if I could get like my guns and my like a true freedom of religion somewhere else, maybe it's just time to just like.
But that's the issue. Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
This is the last place on earth that has all of these things. I remember all these, people saying we're going to move to Canada. It's like, have you seen Canada? Nobody wants to go to Canada right now. I have family up there. They're like, yeah, this is just, things are getting bad. So, yeah, where are you going to go? Once this country is done, the world is done, guys.
I think Alaska could be a really hopeful place, except for the obvious and imminent World War III that's occurring. Russia could make a play for Alaska. So I don't want to be out there like, oh, crap, there's like all of Canada separating me from...
right. You're going to go through Canada to get back to the rest of the U.S. So.
And everything out there trying to kill you, moose and bears and everything else. Yeah. And I don't know that black people are necessarily supposed to be in Alaska. That might just be like asking for it. That might be like a horror movie. Like, oh, we should split up and I'm going to go see what that sound was. That might just be a terrible idea.
Right. I've seen how this movie ends. It doesn't go well.
Ron Paul 2016. I'm going to be honest, I forgot that he ran. But yeah, a lot of people voted for Ron Paul, Roger Wood. I just realized I can't tell what YouTube chat you guys are in, if you're in the Joe Mobley Show chat or if you're in the Outspoken Samantha chat. So I don't know, maybe like drop a JM or an OS and that will just make it clear in my mind, because they're all in the same. It's wonderful that they're all together, but yeah. What about Ben Carson's? You guys
chatting.
I don't know anything about Ben Carson's Manatech scam. It seems, my initial thought is windmill. It seems immaterial to the question at hand. So will just keep it pushing. What are we supposed to be talking about next?
I don't know, but I know I've heard of Manatech. I thought it was like an MLM or something, but I could be
was
wrong.
Ben Carson in an MLM?
I don't know. So I don't know.
My wife's done a couple, and one of them, she made a ton of money. We were taking trips over. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
We should do a whole show on MLMs. I have a lot of opinions about those, but
anyway. Lord. Can we do that on your channel?
Yeah, we can do it on my channel. We can all talk about it.
My gosh. If we're going to do culture thing, can I put on my white girl for a minute? Have you seen not Real Housewives, what is it? The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
Oh my gosh. I have not seen any of it. I've heard enough commentary on it where I'm like, what is this?
I watched the first episode. I was like, this is possibly the most outrageously stupid thing I've ever seen. And I've watched episodes of The Bachelor and a whole bunch of other stupid crap. I almost said a bad word. I can't believe it. Like, I can't believe, like, let us know in the chat if you want to see any type of review or reactions to the Secret Lives of Mormon. Why is this even a thing?
I don't know.
I immediately, texted all my Mormon friends. I was like, you guys need to get it together. Don't tell me anything about Protestants. You got these Mormon hoes out here swapping husbands and doing all kind of bull crap. Like, they should be run. I don't even care about LDS or Joseph Smith or any of that. But you guys in Utah, you guys need to run these people out of town. Step up, patriarchs. Even if you fall victim to a false and stupid religion, your religion is a fan fiction of Christianity, not a good one like Islam. Islam is like a good fan fiction. It's like the J.K. Rowling of fan fictions. Mormonism is just dumb. Anyway. I digress.
I don't think I'll be watching it anytime soon.
Don't watch it. Don't. I can't get those brain cells back.
Yeah, it looks dumb.
Spoiler alert, like the first episode, the chick is knocked up by the chick that was swapping and caught feelings. Big surprise if that happens. You're sleeping with someone else and you develop feelings for them. So her husband left her, and now she's dating some drug addict and she's pregnant. So that's basically I believe what the rest of the show is going to be. I want to skip the doublethink Olympics so we can do the reacts videos. So let's do the TikTok one first. All right. Well, I learned today that you can put a TikTok in full screen. So
awesome.
Let's go for it. Do we need to say anything before this? I've not seen this yet.
Nope. And this is a really, I mean, it's only 30 seconds long. I saw this TikTok, like, I always feel like I need to clarify. I don't spend that much time on TikTok. Like, every 2 weeks or so, I scroll through a little bit just to see what people are talking about. And then I'm like, I'm done. But this was like one of the videos that just popped up right when I opened the app. And it literally has been bugging me for a couple of weeks at least. I'm like, I need to talk about this. And it's not even anything significant. So you'll see what I'm talking about.
I'm just on the edge of my seat. I mean, I got respect for the Friends shirt there. I've not seen this one.
I didn't even notice that until now. I was like, okay.
All right, here we go.
All right.
You know what I didn't sign up for when I got married? To decide what's for dinner every single day of our lives.
What?
Yeah. Why is that
What in the first world problems am I watching? Is this just like a basic white girl rant? Is that what I'm about to watch?
Probably, but I have a lot of thoughts, so just keep
All right.
So you know what we're having tonight? You know? We're having chicken tenders and waffle fries. I don't want to do anything. I've cooked the last 3 nights in a row. Freaking nice, fancy meals. So tonight, chicken tenders, waffle fries. That's it.
Okay, so that TikTok just like really made me mad because first of all, why are you putting this on TikTok? Like, I cannot imagine opening up an app where there's like thousands of people, potentially millions of people, listening to my spouse rant and rave about me. Like, getting on this app and portraying to the entire world that you're married to somebody who is lazy, that you can't talk to, that you can't plan with, that doesn't care that you're tired. This is all of these things that are portrayed in these TikTok videos. And when I see the divorce rate skyrocketing, particularly for women that are between like the ages of 30 and 40, I think a lot of it has to do with this kind of garbage. I'm like, have you talked to your husband about it? Have you sat down and made a menu or planned, like, I'm going to cook 2 nights a week. You can cook 2 nights a week. And then we'll either have leftovers or we'll order out or whatever. Weekends are just kind of we'll plan on the spot. But for people to constantly just get on this app, and this is not an isolated incident, to get on this app and constantly just complain and moan and whine about things that are so easily solvable if you just talk to the other person that is living in your house with you, who is also a grown adult, who has a vested interest in making sure that your home is happy and peaceful and probably loves you and wants to make sure that you're not stressed. But I don't understand why getting on TikTok and complaining to everybody is going to solve anything. This just pisses me off.
I'm proud of you, Samantha, because when I was watching that and you said something in whine, and I was hearing Dave Ramsey's voice in my head saying bitching and whining. That's what this is. Curious for your thoughts, Imperious. This kind of behavior makes me like rethink my thoughts about spousal disciplining, because this is ridiculous. Like, this is, I'll be totally honest. I don't know what I would do other than probably praying and fasting if my wife did this. First off, just go out and eat. If I even, sometimes I perceive it is a tough day. The kids are like a little extra today, and life has just been a lot like, you're not making dinner, and she'll have dinner planned because she's not a psycho. And also, can I just be clear? I don't try to offend, but I also don't care if I do. This isn't hard. This is not hard. Like, I can solve you don't need to be a professional consultant to solve this business problem. 7 days in a week, you can figure that. If you can't figure that out, you're unsat as a human, because guess what? If you weren't married, you retard, you would still need to eat every day, which requires figuring out what you're going to eat, where you're going to get that food. This take just defies the laws of logic. And I'm just in a place where I'm just like, what the? Yeah, I can see why this was just ringing in your brain. So while I'm already raging against stupidity, let's go ahead and put this up. Windmill says, I bet you didn't know Trump and Elon Musk met Elon Musk at Epstein's house in Manhattan 28 years ago. Let me be clear. I don't care. I don't care if they were having threesomes with Trump's future wife and his ex-wife, and Musk and Amber Heard pooped on the bed. I don't care at all. What does that have to do with this policy? What does that have to do with this plan to get the troops out that was totally botched by Kamala Harris, the last one in the room, but now she's trying to deny it? What does that have to do with Venezuelan gangs taking over neighborhoods in states and sovereign territory inside the United States, raping, pillaging, murdering? What does it have to do with the drugs, with the crime, with the Haitians eating mother-loving cats? I don't care. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Also, I don't think this is true. You know why I don't think this is true? Because if it was, it would have been plastered all over every newspaper during his 2016 campaign and during the subsequent presidency. So you sound and look like an idiot. Lest I'm just off. Where that was that take was just as stupid as this white girl. So we're going to keep it moving. Unless you have anything, Samantha, for
nope. Amen. Preach.
All right. Well, I just thought this was the funniest. This is the perfect lighthearted thing to end on. Yeah. Anyway, this is what level of adulting are you at? So we'll stop it throughout because I don't know. This just made me laugh. So
what level of adulting have you reached? Watching everything with subtitles.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Being excited about going.
So I'm there. Eliza and I, it doesn't matter how loud or quiet it is in the environment. It doesn't matter if it's daytime or nighttime, subtitles are going on. And the kids will complain. Like, you've reached this level of adulting. What does it mean?
I don't
know why.
I don't know, because I feel like my brain, like I'm constantly like thinking about 25 other things. So in order for me to really grasp what is going on, I need to be able to read it. I need to be able to see the words because my brain is not comprehending everything. I don't know, maybe I'm just slowing down, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, if my kids are watching a movie and I don't really care what's going on, they don't need the subtitles on. If it's a movie I'm watching, I'm like, I want these subtitles on. Like, I don't care how loud it is. I don't care how many speakers I have in the room. I don't care if I can hear it perfectly. I need to read it so I can catch every single word.
Yeah. And if you're like me, I find myself I'm just glued to the subtitles. I'm reading a book with a soundtrack. Yeah. Roger Wood, I'm so sorry for you. He says, my wife isn't a good cook. I do all of the cooking and she complains about how much time real food takes to prepare. That's tough. I only grill. I grill and I make breakfast. That's it. I can make breakfast. I usually don't, but
and I think it's not a matter of everybody like being at the same level. It's like in my sister's house, like her husband is a far better cook than she is. And it's not that she can't, she just doesn't. I'm like, when it's your night when it's your night to cook, like think of the simple things, like just do the simple things. It doesn't have to be fancy. Like just because your spouse is really good at cooking and they put together a 7-course meal, if they want you to cook, they can't expect you to do the same things. Sorry, you guys can see my daughter walking behind me. She just decided to peek behind my head. But yeah, like as a spouse, as a partner, you need to be willing to accept what your spouse contributes to it. And hopefully they're not choosing to do simple things just because they're being lazy, but because some people are just much better at cooking. They're much more interested in hitting every single food group in every single meal. And other people are like, you know what, if I'm going to do this, it needs to be simpler.
Yeah.
So
I never complain about this. I'm freaking married to a Disney princess. And like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen my wife's Instagram, but somehow juggling 5 kids under 10, girl like makes bread and grows a garden and makes this freaking content, and she is super crunchy and she cooks things from scratch. Like she throws the grain in the mill, makes the flour, and sings and dances while she does it. I know that is not normal, and that's not even a standard to hold people to. But good grief, that the other chick was so far below the standard. And also don't make it a vindictive thing. If it's just like, today's been a bear and we're eating star-shaped chicken nuggets, then do it. Then so far as it is up to me, live peaceably with all. Good gracious, don't be a bee while you're pulling out your food that you're going to throw in the oven. That's fine. And the husband would have said, the husband would have been fine. Are you kidding? We only have homes and cars to appease women. We would all live under the same bridge together. All of the men in the chat, your husband, who I've never met, we would all live in the woods or in a 3-bedroom apartment playing Super Smash Brothers and music and beer pong and being totally gross, but totally fine and happy. We do all of this for you. Don't complain.
No, I completely get it. It just, I don't understand. Like, I think somebody said in the comments that it's one thing to, Digital Mining Solutions said it's one thing for your spouse to vent to their friends. It's another to post it on the internet for the world to see, which I completely agree with. Like, we all have issues with our spouse, with our partner. We have friends. We vent a little bit, both sides. It's a matter of respecting your spouse, because you can vent about things, but when you start to make it personal, then that's too far. But also putting it on the internet, like, to me, when you do stuff like this, just in this little clip, I mean, she's letting the world know, or making the world think, that her husband is stupid, that he doesn't care, that he's like enslaving his wife, that she's tied to the kitchen, that he's in the living room playing video games. Like, she's painting this picture of her spouse that she's supposed to love and care about and be in a partnership with, that is completely disrespectful. And now the entire world is going to start piling on in her comments and being like, girl, you should leave. Why are you in that relationship? And this is how we end up with all of these women leaving their husbands.
And then they're all single and angry, and they're like, this is men's fault. No, sweetheart. It's feminism's fault. It's your fault. You're listening to these crazy cat ladies, then you become a crazy cat lady, and you're like, the patriarchy did this to me. And it's like, the patriarchy allowed you to do this to yourself, but you did it.
Yeah. And it started with chicken tenders and waffle fries.
Yeah. And your commenter was spot on, posting your, this is just so indignant. Good grief. I just laughed because the YouTube numbers popped up in front of me because I hovered over something. So you've got 4 thumbs up. I have a thumbs down on my video. I'm pretty sure who did that. Windmill. No, just kidding. But that's fun. That's fun and exciting. I'm pretty sure that both of them actually help with the engagement, so I don't even care. And all of my haters in the comments, I always give them thumbs up, and it pisses them off. All right, so we both do
being
subtitles.
Excited about going to bed. Unnecessary noise.
I'm so excited about going to bed. Every time when I get into the bed, I make the sound that he just made. Like I rejoice every time my head hits the pillow.
Unnecessary noise angers me.
I hear that.
Is this true? Is this true for you?
Yes.
Because why? Why the noise?
I don't know. My kids, my door's open, so I'm like, they're gonna hear this and they're gonna laugh, but they know that it's true. Any extra noise, I'm like, stop it. Like,
because it's unnecessary.
We don't need to be making noise all the time, and especially if it's like a repeated noise, like tapping, or just, I don't know. My boys just have to make noise about everything, and there's just like this repeated noise, and I'm just like, and even my husband's like, you guys got to stop. Mom's head's gonna explode. So
I just asked them, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, for me, it's challenging for me to deal with.
Do you think that you're gonna be on all of these adulting things?
Probably.
Okay, I think there's one that I'm like, I'm so boring, it doesn't really bother me. Okay, well, we'll see.
Complaining about this new generation.
All the time.
I don't know if I'm at that yet.
I complain about this new generation all the time.
Yeah.
They're very annoying. They're very stupid. Like, and not that millennials aren't very bright either, but Z and whatever comes after Z, I don't like mess with y'all at all. I don't debate you. I don't even hold doors open for you. I'm just no contact at all.
Well, I just feel like with previous generations, and obviously I only have experience with my own generation, but I feel like the gap between millennials and Gen Z is so much bigger as far as like our priorities, our understanding of the world, like how we approach being an adult in general and growing up, it is just such a stark difference. Like, I don't feel like it was the same way between my generation and like my parents' generation. I feel like we could at least relate to each other in some way and communicate with each other. I don't know if you saw, you'll have to go check it out. Amala Ekpanobi, she put on her Twitter account a video of a girl that was speaking, I think, to the Australian, I don't know if it's like the parliament, the government, I don't know, giving a speech that was like geared towards Gen Z, and it was about a minute long, and the entire thing, I was like, what did I just listen to? It was like a completely different language. I was like, it's English, I think.
I love her content. It's very good.
Yeah.
You are that.
There is one I am at. Oh, you don't. There is one I am at.
Go.
I say thank you, Jesus, when I sit down.
I don't say that, but I make a lot of noise when I'm sitting down and standing up.
Yep.
You know what one you are that I've noticed about you? You feel the benefit of water in the moment.
100%.
Yep.
100%. Yeah. I've seen the amount of times I see you drink and you're like, and you keep your eyes closed and you're like,
This is 100% me.
Yep.
Like, I'll be hurting and I'll be like, man, I need some water.
Yeah.
And other people like, the sounds you're making, I don't think water is going to help. Like Superman needs to get in the sun. I'm like, I just need some water and everything will be okay. Like,
oh yeah, and not only that, I tell my kids that anytime anything is wrong, I'm like, go drink some water. They're like, I might be dying. I'm like, it's fine, go drink water.
Have you tried water? You sound like a drill sergeant. They're just like, but first, water.
I've just been taught.
yeah. And you're just like, like the Sahara's really real.
Lots of efforts.
That's
You
jokes.
fight to stay alive.
Oh, that's jokes. Sometimes I find myself looking out the window with my hand behind my back for no reason.
I do this at my front storm door. I have the door open. I'm just staring out there. What am I doing? I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah. I don't know if I've done that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have one or both arms like just kind of behind my back, and I'm just like,
Just
and the
chilling.
dog is at my feet, like we're just looking out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this means, but apparently young people don't do this. It's some level of adulthood.
Just blinds of two fingers. Boy.
Round envelopes give me a mini heart attack.
Mm-hmm. I had two of those John Smiles.
That's the one. Look, if it's the IRS, they're just going to get you. Otherwise, this is the one that I don't. Do you have a heart attack when you get like those big official, you know?
No, I wouldn't say it doesn't, incite panic or anything, but it's not like happy feelings. It's like, oh great, what is that? Like, what kind of a notice is that?
Windmill. Why are you still talking about Donald Trump in my chat? What, are you stuck? Is your stream stuck? We've so moved on. I think one of my viewers has TBS.
Drink some water.
Drink some water. I just saw you get some water from your basic white girl cup.
Yep.
I think stuff like that, when it just goes crazy viral and everyone has it, I'm always wondering if these are psyops or influence operations, because a lot of them, there needs to be a little proof that it worked, like some observable way for whoever's running the op to be able to tell. Like the fruit of the loom thing. Like if people believe that, that's so obviously stupid, guys. Obviously there was a cornucopia. We all know this. We had them. Like I had them as a child. That's the craziest thing. Anyway.
Yep.
The other day.
Well, to be fair, this is a knockoff. This is from Amazon. This is not a Stanley.
It works just the same.
Slyly crossing the road when I see a group of teenagers.
I refuse to be.
What did he say?
This one is tough. He said,
was John Smiles the other day.
Slyly crossing the road when I see a group of teenagers.
Slyly crossing the road?
yeah, like you see a group of teenagers come and you're walking on the same sidewalk as them. You just kind of nonchalantly cross?
Well, I don't go for walks that often, but like, I don't think so. That's not really something that I do. I guess. I don't know. Do you?
I'll say this because Samantha can't. It depends. It depends on what they look like, what they're doing. If it's a group of black teenagers, I'm crossing the road. Period. I carry multiple weapons everywhere. There's weapons back here. There's a weapon right here in arm's reach. I don't even have to move to get to it. And I'm still crossing the road because the rules are for not being a victim is don't be at stupid places during stupid times doing stupid things with stupid people. If you obey those rules, you'll be fine. So if it's like a bunch of young thugs walking on the sidewalk, I'm moving. I don't want to have anything to do with them. If they're crossing to get my path, it depends. If I'm by myself, maybe I'll run away. But if I'm with friends and family, then sorry, guys, you're going to die. I'll send your family some flowers or whatever.
Yeah, I guess I just haven't been faced with that decision in a really long time. So, I mean, I will sometimes ride my bike with the kids in the morning to their middle school. Well, actually, they make me stop like 2 blocks before the school and go home.
That's adulting. That's adulting hard. All right, bye, kids. Yeah. Don't hug me. Don't kiss me. What are you doing?
Yep. They're like you don't have to come any further, Mom. You can turn around now. I'm like, no, I want to come right up to the door. But yeah, I'm usually on my bike when I'm like going down the sidewalk. So I'm not. I don't know. I mean, it really depends on where I am. It depends on the time of day. It depends on like how many people there are. It really depends on a bunch of factors. Yes, I have definitely crossed the road when I am just making a judgment. Regardless, I mean, maybe skin color plays a role in it. Maybe it doesn't.
Some people just look sketch. Plenty of white people look sketch.
If someone looks sketchy to me, like I'm better safe than sorry. So yeah, there have definitely been situations when I'm like, I don't care. Like I don't care what you think. I'm not going to be subtle about it. I'm going to cross the road. Like,
the average person that I see that I think is a drug user is white. Maybe black drug users are just cool. Maybe they're just laid back. But like white guys are tweaking out here, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to walk past this guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, and I haven't seen it as much here, but I haven't really spent as much time downtown. But when I lived in Colorado, going into Denver, I mean, tons of like white homeless guys, and it's like, it was bad. And now we know it's a lot worse.
You can't cross the street in DC because there's homeless and stabbings and drugs on both sides. You got to like walk in the middle of the street with the cars.
Yeah. You're like safer to walk in traffic.
I hate going to DC. I really do. I was going to say something. I totally forgot. Maybe something about drinking water. Yeah, I don't know. I lost it. Hey, if people look sketch, just cross the street. It's fine. You're not racist. You're just not an idiot.
No, I refuse to be. And you don't owe them an explanation. You don't, if in your brain you're thinking, I can't cross the street because it's going to make them feel awkward or it's going to make them feel like I'm judging them. Like, I don't care. If I feel like it's not a safe situation or there's any chance that it's just, it might end up being an unsafe situation, my top priority is my safety, my kids' safety, my family's safety. I don't care if it makes you feel weird. I don't care if you think that I'm judging you. I might be judging you. So.
Get over it.
Yep.
Get over it.
Yep.
It just won't let me.
Why won't it go forward?
It just won't let me.
What is happening here? This is wild. It's like glitched out or something. The craziest part about this is a file. It's not even the internet.
It just
it's just like we don't want you to watch that. Where? Okay, maybe I'll remember. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Have you seen these videos It's like it's a TikTok trend, so maybe you haven't seen it because I'm the one who spends all the time on TikTok in this creatorship. But it's like black guys that don't feel safe being alone with white women. It's like it's like a little white girl like walking on the sidewalk. The black guy's like, oh, he like takes off running, or like comes in the elevator and the black guy like dives out. I've 1000% done that. I do that all the time. I did that today at work. It's just like, nope.
Yeah. Well, I don't feel safe with white women sometimes. There's some judgy people. Like, I mean, and I think I might have a little bit of PTSD, you know, living in Colorado during COVID. And I occasionally did, but most of the time did not wear a mask going into the stores, whatever. The number of times that I got screamed at by white women, white men, I was just like, you have got to be kidding me. So
me too.
You just never know. They're like
Maryland,
little ticking time bombs.
Yeah, it happened to me in Maryland. It happened to me all over Loudoun. I got assaulted by a small white woman in a parking lot, and it was the one time I went to Giant. I say what you want to say about me. You know, I've achieved some things, and I do a couple of things that are, what do people say? That are bougie. Like, I shop at Wegmans. I don't go to like Safeway and stuff. The one time I went to Giant, I got assaulted by a white woman. I'm like, that's it. That's why I don't go to Giant, and Wegmans is farther away.
Yeah.
We did stop shopping at Target though, so we do have to go to Walmart, and it's very annoying. This is wild. So not only did that file like fritz out, it's gone. Did I accidentally delete it? It's like not even in here. All right, well, we're definitely not watching the rest of that because this is crazy. I downloaded it like I do all of my videos now. I do this, I'm so prepared, except things still fail. I download my videos, and they still get destroyed, apparently. I highly recommend you guys do this because they take stuff down off of the internet. So download it to your hard drive. And I'm so paranoid. I have a Synology NAS drive that I just put content on because they're going to start black holing this stuff. All right, I guess we'll end the show with this because it's funny.
Okay.
You've already seen this, but it's still a solid 19 seconds of comedy.
I am 74 years old. Life expectancy for men is 76 years. Life expectancy for women is 81 years. I figure if I transition...
As ridiculous as that is what a lot of you lefties believe. So,
yep.
Congratulations, you played yourself. That's all I got. You got anything for? I'm sure Windmill's still listening, eagerly awaiting.
Bless your heart, Windmill. Bless your heart. Nope. Nothing really going on right now. I just posted a video of Kamala and her values, saying that her values haven't changed, which is very interesting because lying seems to be a particularly favorite value of hers. So that is my most recent video. I've got some other things planned for the next few days, but I do a live stream on my channel every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time, which has been a lot of fun. And maybe one of these days I'll have Joe on and we'll talk about some like random reality TV show or something.
No, let's do your thing that you wanted to do. What was it?
MLM.
I forgot already.
MLMs.
Oh yeah, MLM.
We definitely need to talk about MLMs.
I feel like I'll need to take some type of Xanax or something before that.
Yeah, probably. And let me just tell you real quick, like every time I watch an anti-MLM video, everything that they say is like could be applied directly to like a dictatorship government because it has the brainwashing, it has the isolation from people, you know, because they're haters. Everybody at the top earns money at the expense of everybody else. And, you know, everybody else is making like less than minimum wage or losing money on it. So and this is coming from somebody who has been in a couple of MLMs, and I did really well in them, but it just, the narratives.
We should start an MLM. Maybe we start an MLM for like content creators.
I saw one of the people that I follow on Instagram. She's a conservative. I don't know if you follow Patriot Barbie.
I do.
Probably not. She's
we
kind of
follow
funny.
all the same accounts. I follow her.
Yeah, but I think she started an MLM, and I was like, why? So it was very disappointing, but to each their own.
All right. Well, guys, if you want, especially Windmill, if you want to hang out some more, you can come. You don't have to pay the $5 a month, but the show is free. But you can become a member. You get the member mug, and you can't see it because it's covered up by a picture of the member mug. DJMobleyshow.com/join is how you can watch the show on Locals immediately after this. There's the website. It's a website, guys. You know what to do on it. You click buttons and engage and stuff. Thanks for watching. We had a really good turnout tonight. I feel like the cobwebs are starting to shake off of the content now that I got to relaunch after that. That was just the whole Deloitte experience. Was maybe one day we'll do a podcast about working for big four consulting firms, which I've worked for 2 of the 4 of them. What a time.
Yeah.
What a time. Except for some of the people. I love and miss some of the people there, but good freaking. Anyway, we'll be talking. I'll be talking Linkin Park, suicide prevention, and I think there are 2 other topics on the member only show. I hope to see you over there, especially Windmill. Get over there, man. There's no thumbs down, but you can just like write nasty comments. And subscribe to Outspoken Samantha on the YouTubes and Rumble and follow everywhere that you guys do internet stuff. Maybe not everywhere, because some of you guys are riding dirty. You know what I'm talking about. You know who you are. You can't follow her there. Anyway, bye. That's all I got. Where's the end button? I lost it. There it is.